So, we're pregnant.
So we found out that we were pregnant on Christmas Eve. We were actually getting ready to go to a dinner party, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna wanna drink some wine, but my period hadn't come for a little while, and I took a test, and it was positive. So that's how we ended up here.
Yeah, it was a bit of a surprise, which is why obviously it wasn't on camera or anything.
We had a friend here, and we were all like, wait, what? They thought I was joking when I said, oh my gosh, it's positive.
Yeah, I just heard a scream from the bathroom, and then I was like, what? And you said it's positive, and I started laughing because I thought it was a joke. There's no way it can be possible. Obviously it is, and here we are. So, because this is our first time being pregnant, but also being pregnant while living abroad in Germany, we thought we'd share some of the process.
Yeah, we thought it would be a good time to kind of talk about maybe the cultural differences between what maybe is offered here as opposed to what we might have experienced in the US being first-time parents. So my first appointment was an already actually scheduled appointment that I had to set up an appointment with a new gynecologist here in Germany. So I just kept that appointment. It worked out great with the timing, and they were able to measure the baby at around 7 weeks. So that was pretty exciting. I was able to see a little like mass inside of me, nothing too detailed yet. Mike wasn't at that appointment, but I had just gone just to confirm that I was actually pregnant.
And yeah, it confirmed a little bit more than this test, which at the time, while we believed it, we were still like, no way, and a little bit in shock. So made it all the more real and all the more exciting for us.
I won't go too into details with like any of my symptoms because they're pretty typical for, I think, normal pregnancy. But I was feeling a little nauseous and, exhausted during that first trimester.
All right, so the next part in the process is getting a midwife. And everyone in Germany is actually entitled to a midwife when they're pregnant. And when we told a lot of our family in the US that we were getting a midwife, they automatically assumed that we were having a home birth, which isn't the case in Germany. Everyone is entitled to one, and it's paid for through your health insurance.
Before the birth, the midwife comes to your home every so often and just checks in with you. Like, how are you doing? Are you, what are your symptoms like? Talks you through the birth process, answers any questions you might have. So we have, being new parents in a country that's not where we've been living for too long, we had a lot of questions, and she has been extremely helpful.
And in case anyone's wondering, she does speak English because if you've watched any of our other videos where we've tried to pronounce German words, we're slowly learning. Yeah. Learning nonetheless, but slowly.
And the midwives here are able to do some of the medical aspects of things. So for example, some blood tests or urine tests, they're able to do that right here in your home, so it's a little more comfortable. And then they play a major role after birth, where the midwife will come to your home every single day for, I believe, 10 days or so to check in on you and the baby to see how you guys are doing. Do you need help with anything? What questions do you have? Because I'm assuming I'm gonna have a lot at that point. So my next appointment with my gynecologist was around 11 weeks. Okay, so I just got done with my second appointment, and I couldn't record anything before because I was honestly just so nervous and anxious. Sometimes when I'm not feeling nauseous, I just am like, oh, I don't know if everything's going okay. So it was good to have my second appointment, and everything looked okay. She did another ultrasound. I'm about 11 weeks along, and the baby is I think she said 44 millimeters big, so super tiny, but it was really exciting to see the arms and the legs. And yeah, just even though it's so small still, that there's parts of a human forming. So yeah, really exciting. Everything seems to be going okay, and I'll have my next appointment in a few weeks. The next appointment that we had then was actually at a separate clinic where the gynecologist there was able to do the non-invasive prenatal blood test with me. He was able to do some specific measurements so that we could rule out any genetic abnormalities.
So this appointment at 13, 14 weeks was also my first time seeing the baby. It was really cool, and I don't know, it was just amazing seeing the baby on the ultrasound. But while the doctor was talking to Becca, I couldn't hear anything he was saying from where I was standing. So I'm watching him take these measurements and telling you things, which I later found out that it was just everything was okay. But the whole time he's doing it, I'm sitting there freaking out like, is everything okay? I don't know what these measurements mean, and I'm trying to read his screen, and it was really difficult and stressful in the moment, but happy everything went well. But once he got done with the measurements, he asked us if we wanted to know the sex of the baby, which wasn't something we were anticipating. However, he ended up telling us that he was 85% sure that it was a boy, and that was really exciting. However, in a very perhaps German way, he said if we wanted a girl, that we'd have to come back in a year and nothing was guaranteed, so that's just what it was.
Yeah. The next kind of few appointments were just with my midwife. She was checking in with me, using the Doppler to let us hear the heartbeat, answering any questions, doing urine tests with me, just making sure that we're okay as first-time parents. The nice thing about having a midwife in Germany is that if you're feeling worried about something, they can come to your house like within 24 hours. So right before we went on our spring break trip, I was feeling a bit nervous. I didn't know how to explain it, but I just like didn't feel pregnant. I don't know, it was weird. Like I was past the stage of feeling like nauseous and exhausted all the time, but also not to the point where I could feel the baby moving yet. So I was like, I feel great. Is everything okay? So I was able to call our midwife, and she came over the next morning and, used the Doppler with me. It's like, listen to the heartbeat, look at this, record this video so you have something to hold on to during your trip. So the next major appointment was around 21 weeks where we did the anatomy scan, where the gynecologist was able to take a look at the organs.
So we just got back from our anatomy scan appointment.
So today I am 21 weeks and 3 days. At this appointment, they looked at the organs and more in-depth measurements of the baby, and they said everything looks great. They're growing okay. I think they said the baby weighs 480 grams.
It's about a pound?
I think, I don't know. Yeah, we'll see. So everything looks good, and they confirmed today that the baby is a boy, so that's exciting.
Yeah, we're really excited. It was really cool to see the baby again after, our last ultrasound was a while ago at about 14 weeks. So it was really cool to see the baby, and you're starting to feel him moving.
Oh yeah. And that's been exciting. I always trying to be like, Mike, come over, feel. And he's been able to feel a few times.
Yeah, just a couple small movements. So we're really excited to be able to feel some bigger movements soon. So this past weekend, we actually just had a birthing class, which was fantastic. It was a long weekend. It was 9 to 4 o'clock on Saturday and 9 to 4 o'clock on Sunday. But it was with a bunch of other couples in English with a midwife here in Hanover. And it was, just a phenomenal birthing class. I feel like we learned so much from basically where we're at in pregnancy, through labor, delivery, hospitals, all the way through caring for a newborn. And I still feel nervous and anxious at times, but I feel overall way more prepared, especially with some of the cultural differences, or even just the fact that midwife was able to demystify a lot of the things about pregnancy for first-time parents.
Although 14 hours sounds like a lot, it went by really fast. She was able to answer everyone's questions and get through so much material, and I just feel like it was so worth it.
Yeah, and it was also something that insurance covered everything for you, and the majority for me, 80% of it. That's just amazing that the government's helping new parents out with this, because even if you're from Germany, they have you covered because you probably have a lot of questions. But for us living here, we had even more questions, and everyone in our class, because it was in English, wasn't necessarily from Germany. There were only a couple of the partners that were from Germany, but everyone else was living here from another country.
Yeah. 23 weeks today. So today I actually had my sugar test done to find out if I have gestational diabetes. The drink itself was fine. It tasted like lemon lime sugary sports drink, but the sugar high I got from it was crazy, and then the sugar crash I got from it was awful. I came home from work and immediately had to lie down, but it was nice to have my midwife there again, just, you know, walking me through the process, and those results should be coming back soon, so hopefully I have nothing to worry about, but we'll keep you guys updated with that.
So, well, obviously we're only at week 24 right now in our pregnancy journey here in Germany. This is going to take my travel BF in potentially a few new directions, and we don't really know what that's gonna look like, but because of all these appointments and changes, that's why we haven't put out a video in the last couple weeks, so we're really sorry about that. But we're gonna have some new videos soon, both about our pregnancy as well as our other travels. So while you're here, make sure to like this video and subscribe so you can see more videos about both of those things, as well as check out our other videos right here about life in Germany and our travels. And we'll see you over there. Bye.